Alright, so today on the channel we're going to take a look at Tarna from the heavy metal movie that came in, gosh, back when I was a kid, way back. What is this in, it's maybe 40 years old now, this movie, just about. It's kind of a little bit of a retro review because I know a lot of people have already taken a look at this figure and checked it out, but I never got a chance to get around to her. I left her in the pile for a while, just almost like getting ready for the day when I was gonna get to review her, and then she just got lost in the piles for some reason. But anyways, a little bit of a background to her. When I was growing up, this was one of the very first cartoons, kind of like an adult cartoon that I got to watch. And it really kind of blew my mind as to, she stole the show basically. If you guys have ever seen heavy metal, you know that Tarna here stole the show, and she was one of the first female characters. She's, in my opinion, she's even more awesome than She-Ra, and I don't care what you think, she just is. I know she doesn't have the mythos of She-Ra and all this world building, but interestingly enough, heavy metal, that movie, that short story, did enough world building for me that I love this character. I was rooting for her. I really believed that she could go in and knock the crap out of anybody who challenged her. And I thought that was fantastic. I think that was really, for my generation, it kind of, solidified that, hey, this can be a female action hero, and, it doesn't have to be He-Man. And you guys, you can be okay with that. I thought, what is realistic in our days? Even He-Man isn't realistic, right? But I was truly rooting for her to go in there and take her revenge out on those evil punks that destroyed her life. So anyways, that's the story behind why I ordered this figure. It's very nostalgic to me, and it's evocative of the 80s vibe that we had back then, right? We didn't really need to push for anything. The story just felt done well, and it felt done right. Anyways, she had a great story. I was rooting for her, and in my brain, it was 100% logical, and I was rooting for her to take out those punks. I rooted for her more so than maybe He-Man or G.I. Joe or anybody else. I really liked her as a figure, and she was legendary in the circles that I went around with my cousins and my brother and anybody else who talks to. And that's why we have a figure now. She's a little bit controversial because of the cartoon. The cartoon is way violent, and I'm not sure if I'm not sure why my parents let me watch it. I probably know, because they didn't have time to police my interaction. But anyways, let's take a look at the box real quick. She's from Executive Replicas, and she's a precursor, I guess, to Hell Witch, Vampirella, with the Red Sonja. She's right back there, a little Red Sonja. I think Executive Replicas learned a lot by making her, and we've gotten a really great run of female action figures from them, with their foray into this world with her. I do have the other version of her that comes with the bird that she flew into battle, that weird looking chicken looking bird. I thought the bird was crazy looking, but I mean, whatever, it was still cool. I would have rather it been an eagle or something, but it was a very interesting time, and I was even cheering for the bird, man. Let the chicken bird win. So anyways, this is what it's on the side, right? You see Tarna on her bird flying into battle, about to kick some butt. You get a little story back here. This was the poster that came out in the 80s. It's just a legendary movie. If you haven't seen it, you got to go see it. You got to understand what frame of mind the kids were back then. And you might be surprised that some of the things that you thought were forward-looking now, it's just barely happening now. Females are just getting a chance now. No, we had female characters, She-Ra, Sigourney Weaver, Tarna. We had a lot of that in the 80s. Just people kind of forgot, or I don't know. But anyways, it was fantastic. And here she is kind of fighting her way through some of the savagery that was in that cartoon. I'm going to keep this little box because I might put her back in just to display her in a whole box. And I like that Executive Replicas didn't put a piece of tape down here. They just, for us, like I said, I'm more like a 70-30, 60-40 in-box collector. Some of them I wish they would all have the option to just slip the figure back in and take her out when you need it to. Anyways, so here's the box. I'm going to keep it. It's a quality box, but anyways, moving to the figure. I do have some nitpicky parts about this figure, and we'll get into that in a minute. I had to put her on a stand here. This pops off. It's kind of just hanging by a little, clip that she has right here. It's her little scabbard. We'll just put that to the side. That's an accessory. She also came with the sword, and the sword was completely bent. I mean, it just looked like a mess, but we managed to bend that back out. It looked like a scimitar or something. It was so bent. It was horribly bent, but I put a little heat on it and it bent back out. I'm afraid if I put it in this scabbard, it's going to bend it again. But anyways, the figure. Those are the two accessories that it comes with for now. She comes with a few more over here. You know what? Let's just hang out right here, Tarna, and let's take a look at the other ones. She comes with a grip hand for that hand, the ungloved hand, or the unarmored side. I'm not sure what kind of armor that offers her, but okay. And then she has an open gloved hand and a gripped gloved hand over there. So she has the ability to grip or to open hand. So there it is there. And there's her other hand over here. And she also has like another wig, though this pops right off for her. So she has this hair, and then she has, I guess, this hair that's in flight mode. That's what her hair looked like in the flights when she was flying around. The figure itself, the head articulates, and sometimes what you got to do, get ready, guys. This is going to be shocking. You have to pull this head off, put her in the right position, and then slip the head back on, right, to get her in the spot that you want. Because otherwise, you can't move the head without it. So, anyways, there she is. Slip this back on, and that's what it is. She can do a T-pose pretty easily. What I did have some trouble with is this joint right here. It was really tight. This joint is not bad at all. She has a bicep cut, right? Well, she did. This one's tougher, but there's the bicep cut there. And she has a single jointed elbow, but it comes up more than 90 degrees, so it's not bad. She also has the in and out hand, not the up and down version. So you have that. The head, like I said, she can look up some, but she can look down, but the hair really gets in the way. It's just a part of the character. There's nothing to do with the hair there. You're just going to have to position the head as best as you can. And go on from there. She has a mid cut at her torso, which works out very well. She has some crunch, and she has some ability to go back. So let's see. Back, forward. That's about it. That's all you get. And that's because, it's just not a lot there. She doesn't have a cut here or anything. This is all a solid piece. There's no movement there. She can do the splits quite well. And here's where I also had a problem. This joint right here was stuck so hard. I was afraid I was going to pop it off, so I had to put a lot of heat on it. And I had to add some of the oil that I usually use to make sure that it continues to move. And this joint was, as a matter of fact, it's tightened up again on me. But anyways, I had to do on that. And then these... So down here, it's a double jointed knee. So you have a thigh cut here, a thigh cut way down here. I don't know why they put it down here instead of up here. It would have been easier to hide. But then you have a double jointed knee down here, but it's really loose up here for me. My figure has it really loose. I mean, it's not horribly loose, but it's loose. But the joints work. I wish it would have been less loose, but I mean, it works. She stands up, she does her poses. But look at this. It's really loose. You can see that wiggle. I don't know if you guys are seeing it or not, but it's in there. I mean, they're wiggly. This one was tight, and now from here down, it's just kind of a little bit of a mess. And then you have the ankle articulation on her boot. She can go up that far. Let me see. Is this... Oh man, this is a tougher one. I'm not sure. I don't want to break it, but she does have some articulation there, and she does have some ability to move her foot up and not so much down, I guess, because it hits on the back of that. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, yeah. Anyways, that is her. That is the figure. She feels great. She's got some great. She's, as we all know in the movie, she's well endowed. Let me move her arms down a little more. She's very well endowed in the movie, and I don't know if that was done for the adult audience or for the prepubescent teen boys that flock to this movie. But anyways, you have, I mean, it's a good representation of the figure in the movie. This is what it is. She has her armor there. She has some washes. Yep, well endowed in the back as well as in the show. Yeah, she has some variation in color here. I don't know. It almost looks like bruising. I don't know if they meant for that to look that way, but it does to me. I mean, your mileage may vary, but that's the figure. She's got a little bit of color down here. It almost, this doesn't feel like dry brushing or washing. What it feels like is airbrushing. Like they put some airbrushing to her, like on her arms, on her body. The hair this hair has actually more texture or washing to it or airbrushing to it than this hair. Because if I remember correctly, her hair was gray and white. And there, I guess there's a little bit there, but not a whole bunch. So anyways, yeah, so that's the figure. Hold on, let me see if I can turn on. Whoa, it got real bright there for a minute. Had to turn on a light there. But yeah, that's the figure all the way around. Let's compare to how she stands next to some of these figures. Let me put her back on the stand here. Just give me 1 second. Put her back on the stand. There she goes. And hopefully it won't throw it off by too much, but there she is on her stand. Let's put her back to back with maybe, I don't remember her being super tall. So, I mean, if she is super tall, she probably won't be on scale. Like, she is not Red Sonja tall. Not that I remember. So that's what she looks like standing next to Daredevil. She's pretty tall, actually. So Daredevil's going to be definitely shrimpy size next to her. Let's stand her next to a female Joe, Cover Girl. There's Cover Girl, very, very small compared to Tarna. Maybe stand her next to something. Oh, Black Series. Everybody has Black Series. Black Series Stormtrooper. There we go. Let's do a pretty tall one. Let's do maybe let's do, I don't know, should we do Karak? Here, come here. Karak. That's what it looks like next to a Karak Valaverse. So, I mean, does she scale well? I don't know. I mean, you could use her as an Amazonian, I guess, or whatever, but we all know who she is. She's Tarna. She will slay you. Let's see, let's quantify that measurement, right? Let's see how tall she is. This thing is it's very thick. So let's take that off. I can't have her stand on her own. These little ankles, and it's just hard. So let me see if I can just stand her straight like this by holding her at the bottom. And then bring in oh man, she's 6 3/4 maybe? Here, let me bring this up. Yeah, almost 6 3/4 tall. So she's pretty tall as an action figure goes. At a 1/12 scale. She's, you know, she's not quite 1/10 scale, but she's pretty tall 1/12 scale. So anyways, that's Tarna. Am I happy with the figure? Yeah. I mean, it's a good representation of her. You know, is it Mafex level articulation? No, the articulation leaves some to be desired. And if you're not careful with her, you will break those joints. So make sure you heat her up if you get her. If the joints are giving you any problems, heat it up, add some oil to them, move them slowly and carefully, and you should be fine. But she is definitely, I'm happy with her, but at the same time, there are some nitpicky stuff. I would have preferred double jointed elbows here. I would have preferred they'd done the boot cut up here. I would have preferred they give us some better ankle articulation. But for the most part, I mean, it's fine. I give her maybe a 4 out of 5. 3.8. 3.8. Yeah, I'm happy with the figure. So do I recommend her? Yeah. Now I bought her from Loose Collector for about 60, I think. I think it was 55 or 59 way back in the day when I ordered her, pre-ordered her or whatever. You can still find her, but she's going on Big Bad Toy Store for, I think, $84.99. And maybe you can find her for cheaper on eBay for $64 or something like that. I don't know. You have to just go look around. But she's readily available at Big Bad if you don't want to mess around with any eBay stuff, or you can look on eBay for a deal, and you should be able to find something there. So what do you guys think? Are you going to go pick her up? Did you like a little bit of a retro review? I'm kind of catching up for some of the things that I enjoy. Was I fair to this figure? You guys let me know. And, you know, don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe if you're so inclined. And remember, as long as you guys keep watching, I'll keep rolling them out.